Hey guys, I'm Kristen. Thanks for joining me. One thing you may not know about me is that I spent a portion of my career working with engineering and technology students at a state university. I was working in the Career Center, which meant I was able to mentor the students to help them figure out what they wanted to do with their lives. I was conducting mock interviews and critiquing their resumes on a regular basis. A Career Center is there to prepare you to interview and find the job yourself. Now, there's usually a career board, and there are plenty of relationships that the Career Center has formed with local companies, but it's really up to you to find the job that you want, to land the interview, and to be successful once you get the job. I want to share a few of the top skills and things that recruiters are looking for on your resume so that you feel more prepared and equipped to find the job that you're looking for. One thing to keep in mind when you're building your resume is that if you haven't been working full-time in your industry, or at least in a comparable industry, your resume should not be more than one page. That may sound difficult, but remember, recruiters are only looking at your resume for about 5 seconds before they decide if they want to learn more or not. Even if you're working a part-time retail job, there's so much you can show to a potential full-time employer. For example, did you organize a stockroom? You probably increased efficiency for everyone. Did you go above and beyond for a customer? You probably helped close a sale and gained a new loyal follower that would have just left frustrated if you didn't go out of your way for them. Retaining clients is huge in any industry. Start taking notes, take account of the value that you are adding to the company you're in, no matter how big or small you feel your role is. Each bullet point should show action items. What value did you bring to the table? How did you make a difference in that company? You should average about 4 or 5 bullet points for each position that you've held. Now, if you're currently in school and maybe you've only had one job or you've never had a job at all, you've just been focused on academics, that's fine. You can showcase class projects you've worked on in school. Focus on any sort of associations or organizations that you've been a part of. One thing to remember when you're interviewing is that we're all just people. Show respect, make sure you're polite, look people in the eye, but they're just people. No matter what their title, they all had to start somewhere. And they're interviewing you hoping that you do well. They're not thinking bad things about you. They want you to succeed. They want you to be their dream candidate. They want to give you that job. At the end of the day, you're having a conversation. And you are interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. Another mistake I see way too many candidates making is walking into an interview and saying, "What's in it for me?" They want to know all about the benefits, PTO, perks, is there a beanbag chair, can I play pool on my lunch break? I mean, they may have these things, but you have to earn your way in there first. They're the company. What do you have to offer them in exchange for these perks, in exchange for those benefits? One thing to remember is to be kind to everyone. Send thank you notes. If they took time out of their busy day to talk to you, you can send them a handwritten thank you note or an email, but make sure you follow up within 24 hours of meeting with them. It doesn't have to be long. Just restate that you enjoyed meeting with them. Maybe state something that you remember from the conversation and how that made an impact on you or how that made you more excited about the job. But what you have to remember is that these are your potential colleagues. And at the end of the day, you're going to be spending 40 or more hours with them each week. They need to like you and they need to want to work with you. So, be grateful for every person you encounter, including the receptionist. After all, some of us start as a receptionist and work our way up to being an executive. It's so important to be up to speed about the company you're interviewing with. You can't miss this. If you go in and you don't know what they do, who the CEO is, members of the executive team, how long the company's been around, if they're public or private, company values, Guys, if you don't know this going into an interview, why are they going to spend time on you? They've prepared to speak to you. You should prepare to speak to them. A few of the best places to research a company are, well, of course, their website. Also make sure that you check out their LinkedIn page, any social media pages they have set up, and Glassdoor.com. Make sure that you also look into any of the executive team. How long have they been there? Is there a lot of turnover in this company? Is there anyone you see that maybe you would have something in common with? Do your research. After you research the company, research their competitors. This is the best way to find speaking points and key questions to ask. You should 100% go in there ready to ask questions. I don't care if you're meeting with 5 or 6 people. You should never run out of questions. Make sure you go in there with questions that show why you're interested and that you want to learn more, that you actually care about your work environment and the company culture. Now, earlier I mentioned benefits and PTO. When do you ask about that? I definitely recommend waiting until you receive an offer. And don't make up your mind until you know these things. You have got to be diligent about benefits, about how much of a human being this company is going to let you be if you become their employee. It's important to be happy and to feel comfortable and in your own skin when you're working there. So when's the right time to ask? When you receive the offer. They should supply all of these things for you, but if they don't, go ahead and ask for it. There's no shame in wanting to know the full package of what you're being offered. And on that note, don't be afraid to negotiate a little bit. Did they come in lower with salary than you expected? Maybe they're willing to pay for your cell phone if they aren't already. Maybe they're willing to throw in an extra day of PTO or to let you work from home 1 day a week. Just remember that there's a lot more you can play with, and if the numbers don't come in exactly as you were hoping, there are other perks you can wager. Don't be afraid to ask. They've already shown that they want you. So now see what you can do to make sure that you want to stay there for as long as possible. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I hope this is helpful. Feel free to leave any questions or comments below. Remember to subscribe, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.